All right. This is Don't Evolve Me, State of Review, Batman Part 1 Schumacher Edition. I'm sorry if it's confusing. We weren't originally going to make the Burton Schumacher State of Review episode for Batman to be 2 parts, but it ended up getting to be too long, and we want to do each film justice, so we split it up to 2 parts. So, and it's confusing because our Part 2 is going to be the Dark Knight trilogy, so this is Part 1 Schumacher Edition. Yep, so if you already listened to the 2 Burton films, you're in the right place, because we're talking about the Schumacher films. Alright, enough. Cue the music. All right, we back. So, Batman Forever.
Yes.
Oh, man, I just realized I did not do ratings with the last 2 films.
Oh, you got to do it on the fly.
I got to do it on the fly. So, this one's directed by Joel Schumacher. 3 different writers. And the writing, every movie has like different writers to it, so I wanted to like throw that out there, who the writer was. So, there's a lot of shit that happened between films. And I forget exactly what happened. We already talked about it a little bit. But it feels like Joe Schumacher was definitely trying to do the Burton aesthetic.
Definitely, it's definitely a sequel to.
It is. It's the same universe, and I like how the backgrounds fit. But I feel like there's just something missing with Joel Schumacher overall, where like it doesn't have like the great balance of silliness and darkness that like Burton has.
I will agree. It definitely is not like the perfect blend of the previous. I will say that the whole movie is like way more colorful and bright. Like there's a lot of bright colors and lights and like neon colors and stuff like that there wasn't in the other movies.
There were some cool parts,
which I thought was interesting. I also think they do like go way more over the top. This is like the beginning of the over-the-topness in these Batman movies, so that eventually leads to surfing through the sky.
With a Val Kilmer surfing in the sky. I like that reference because I made notice of that. Val Kilmer is the Batman in this one. And so here's my first... What's your first initial thoughts on Val Kilmer?
I actually thought he did a really good job.
I love his Batman.
I thought I actually enjoyed his Bruce Wayne and his Batman. I like both. I thought
people actually really like his Batman. I don't like his Batman unless like if they would have played it more into his mask CEO role, because he plays like a typical CEO goon almost, like heartless CEO person when he talks to like the Riddler, Edward, and I forget his last name in this film.
Nigma.
Is it Nigma?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Nigma, Mr. Nigma.
Yeah, Enigma, Mr. Enigma.
Yeah. I feel I don't really like his Bruce Wayne because his Bruce Wayne just doesn't come off as like the confidence of like George Clooney or Michael Keaton.
Yeah, it felt more.
But I know a lot of people like his Bruce Wayne.
I liked his Bruce Wayne. It felt more. I don't know. He felt more real.
That's fair.
More down to earth, especially like even though it might have been kind of shoehorned in a little bit with like the repressed memories and stuff like that, but it really made it feel more like.
Hated those aspects.
Yeah, I thought it gave him another layer.
I loved his Batman though. As soon as he was like, because like I feel like his Bruce Wayne was more timid, and where I'm like, Bruce Wayne would like is more. I feel as he's more confident, but he feels like really timid. He was always like soft with it. But Batman, he's like, his Bruce Wayne's like, Alfred, I need this, and then Batman's like, Alfred, give me the numbers. Like he has like his Batman voice is arguably the best Batman voice.
Yeah, I think that's part of what makes his Bruce Wayne so good is like the duality. It really is like two separate sides. Yeah, he's got a good chin for it. But it's like it's really 2 separate sides that really shows like the duality of Batman and like the fact that they hyper focus on that part of it too. Like the fact that he really does feel like 2 separate people makes it like fit in with the whole idea of the story and stuff so much more.
What do you think of like the close-up shots? They do this, and Schumacher does this right away with like the close-ups. And,
bat nipples. That was the third thing I wrote.
Yeah,
but it's the first bat nipples.
And the drive-through joke is like, "Sir, what about supper? I'll get drive-through." And his skeleton's like Bat skeleton. It might be the coolest car.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. That was the first thing I wrote was it's the coolest Batmobile. It looks the coolest with the lights and stuff.
And then so we had Two-Face, and he's just Two-Face. He's not Harvey Dent. They go through his origin story a little bit.
I mentioned that too, that they do it in like a news flashback. They show, and he got melted by
the vault scene of it is so just like, man, they went like over the top.
Yeah, that's hard.
And the effects were god awful.
Yeah, that definitely dated. Going forward, especially with a lot of like it doesn't look as bad as it could, like as some movies do. But like especially with Riddler's TV tech or whatever, some of that looks pretty rough too.
Also, no Billy D. Williams is just a shame.
No,
did I say his name wrong?
Who?
Lando.
Oh,
he plays Harvey Dent in the first film, but he's not like he doesn't play Two-Face here. And I'm like, that's a shame. That's a shame.
He's not in. Yeah,
I want like the cool.
I will say, Tommy Lee Jones casting as a Two-Face is very interesting. Both of them, I don't know. It's like Schumacher took the ideas, like how Burton kind of played up some of the aspects of these other villains in the past, and it took that idea and just like generically did it to all of the villains.
He did.
Like it just took them in the same direction on all of them and just made them like cartoonish. I think that was
fun, but it's Tommy Lee Jones. I think would make a great actual Two-Face, like a serious Two-Face. Like I think he would be great, like in his prime, not now, or not even like Christopher Nolan. I think he's too old for it, but like in his prime, I think he would have made a great Two-Face, a serious one. His costume is, my God.
Yeah, it's gaudy.
It is.
Also, Riddler has like 6 different costumes in this movie too.
I fucking love it.
Yeah,
I can't even complain.
There's definitely a dichotomy there. I have a real love-hate relationship. I don't know. Do you want to talk about the Riddler, or are we just talking about Two-Face?
Well, let's get through this quickly. I don't want to be super quick. I want to give this film its. Yeah, let's get into it. He already has goons, and I'm like, where do they get goons?
Yeah.
Is there a goons factory? Is there a goon school? Is there like a draft where like different villains has to draft different goons out of goon university?
I will say that Two-Face is slightly more believable than some of them, just because because I could see him managing like a squad of goons. I will say Drew Barrymore in this movie is very funny to me. Just playing.
Yeah, sugar. I didn't even realize it was Drew Barrymore until I seen her name in the credit, and I thought about it.
Drew Barrymore's in this movie? Oh. Yep. And then I was like, oh, like, weird.
Already has goons. Val Kilmer looks great. Dialogue is super quick with Dr. Chase. I wrote came in like a wrecking ball with the wrecking ball breaks. I'm like, came in like a... goons look great too. They're like well done. Like Two-Face is very much like, hey, we gotta be fashionable.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Very much on theme.
Effects are awful. It's like Burton but more sillier.
Yeah.
The security guard in the vault is so horrible.
Yeah, listening to him talk.
Oh no! It's boiling acid! Help!
My glasses!
It's like, God damn it, just kill
Shut
him.
up, yeah.
Just like if I was a hero, but man, you should say one more fucking line. I'm throwing you in that fucking hat. No way. He's like, hold on, and like the ball just perfectly goes back.
Right
and
back into place.
Like
yep.
The where it's like pinched in, it looks like it's just like the what's it called? Like it's not in the building. It's just like in the wall, like barely onto it. I'm like, man, that would not hold.
Yeah.
That would not hold.
Yeah. The grappling hook.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's funny how that is evolved, going from '89 to where he like asked Vicky Vale how much she weighs in order to whether or not he could lift her up.
Yeah.
So now all of a sudden he's able to catch this crazy freaking thing and attach it to the building.
And it just perfectly goes back. And he's like, here we go, citizen. Actually, to be fair, I'd be like, you know what? Fuck it. You're going on the vault because I just can't handle it.
Yeah. And I was also thinking, the guy was on top of the vault, right?
Yeah.
How did he hold on while like getting swung into the...
I don't know. I thought
like the logistics of that.
Doesn't make sense. Just don't think about it.
Yeah.
That's superhero story. Don't think about it. Right. Helicopter looks awful. Giant statues and sculptures everywhere. It should just be a thing. I wrote Val Kilmer as a myth, Bruce. You think differently.
Yep.
Riddler. Okay, let's talk Riddler now. Riddler and like the idea of brainwaves is just weird.
Yeah, it's definitely a weird take. I also totally forgot about the fact that it like made him super smart.
Right, he wasn't smart initially, but he
was smart because he had to be smart to develop something like that. But it made him smarter.
But they don't show him being smarter. He just knows like trivial stuff like bank account numbers and whatnot and like memories. He's not smarter really.
Right. It's not. I guess he's absorbing knowledge from people, not necessarily making himself more intelligent.
But he like literally says, "I'm getting your IQ," and like it doesn't show it. To me, it's just like, man, they don't. The writers do not understand what they're fucking doing here.
Yeah.
Which, whatever. Bruce is very average CEO. They, him and Mr. Nigma meets. He's just like, no, right away.
Yeah, I know.
And the whole like it raises questions.
I feel like because what it was is he said, "Let's talk and we'll get together and we'll meet and we can talk about it." And then Nigma says, "No, I need a yes or no right now." And he says, "Well, if you needed a yes or no right now, then it's no."
I forget.
And that is a lot more justified. Because he's like, no, I'm not just going to give into this.
I'm going to make a decision. This isn't going on YouTube, so we're going to go over the 2 hour mark. Because I think I'm trying to rush it. I'm like, we don't have the time to go over 2 hours.
It'll be a little over.
So for those who like short podcasts, you probably don't listen to this show anyway.
Skip the first 20 minutes.
You probably... I might have to change that up.
No.
It's always a thing.
It's fine.
Okay. Batman meets sexy lady on tower because she's okay, let's talk about Dr. Meridian Chase. Is it Chase Meridian or Meridian Chase?
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I think it's
she
Dr.
comes
Chase.
off as Dr. Chase.
So I think it must be Meridian Chase.
Yeah, but she always just refers to as Chase.
Yeah.
My God, that girl is fucking horny as hell for Batman.
Down bad for Batman until she's not.
Until she's not, right in the moment they have sex.
Right, yeah, right when it finally happens.
I'm just like, man, just have sex with him and then break up with him.
Yeah, right.
Like, live your fantasy, girl. Come on.
To be fair, she was already, like, dating Bruce. They were, like, going out on dates and stuff like that.
I mean, I know it's, like, the right thing to do, but at the same time, like, if your fantasy is to, like, have sex with Batman and you have the opportunity to have sex with Batman, just tell Bruce Wayne hall pass. And guess what? He already knows.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of my top 3. It's a hall pass.
Yeah.
And you know Batman would be on the hall pass anyway.
Batman's on my hall pass.
Is he on your hall pass?
Yep.
Cool. Like Batman, I already made the reference of Bond Girl because every film he has a different one. Catwoman's reference again. I will say like Nicole Kidman, Dr. Chase is pretty hot in this film.
Yeah,
I'm just like, man,
I did not.
If I was Batman, I would just like go at it.
Gained a whole new respect for Nicole Kidman after watching this movie.
She's really well. Her character, I really liked her character in this. Question for you: is Dr. Chase a version of Harley Quinn?
I don't know. It's very similar.
It's
with
very
like the
similar.
Obsession in the same way.
Blonde girl
for Batman. It's like Batman's Harley Quinn.
But I also could see this like turning into like, hey, the Joker is Batman's villain. I want to get to know Joker, and then just like somehow getting corrupted by the Joker and being then obsessed with Joker.
He's like her actual character becoming Harley Quinn.
I know.
Like that
animated series is out right now, right? Like it's already out. Is Harley Quinn?
I don't even know if Harley Quinn is. When did the animated series even start?
Ooh, Google that. I'll you Google it. I'll keep going on. All right. Riddler feels really rushed through this film and a little undeserved. He kind of just like is crazy and then continues to be crazy.
92.
Okay, so this is probably Harley Quinn inspired.
Yeah, without the Joker.
Yep. So the plan is to get smarter. It was always just weird. The 3D animations were kind of cool, but also like, ugh.
Yeah, I don't think his plan was to get smarter. I think his plan was just to develop this new technology, and then it was just a circumstance that he found a byproduct of that was that he discovered that, oh, I can actually do this, and then that kind of corrupted him even more and like, made him like, oh, now I need all the power. And
I will say his like home is actually pretty dope.
Oh yeah, I agree.
I like, man, like especially like the little question guy in there. Like, well, it's really on the nose. Who the fuck just has a machine like that? But at the same time, I'm like, this is like the base I think Riddler would have, or there's like his apartment would be like. Riddles. They're not great riddles, but they're riddles.
Yeah.
You have to have riddles.
Yeah, they're not very deep. I did think I did appreciate the end when they all kind of came together, although him figuring out that the numbers spelled out MRE and then going from Mr. E to Mystery and then Mr. Enigma and then figuring out that it's him.
It's like
it was a little bit pushed there, but
it works.
It did work, and at least they like did something.
Sounds like a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah,
like bananas. There is 7. I don't even know if there's 7 letters. There's 7 letters. 7. Michael Vick, or number 7.
It is ironic that Jim Carrey is also in the movie 23, which is all about numbers.
There.
Scene 23.
Well, they were like, he loved numbers here.
Yeah. Obsessed with patterns.
So Bruce Wayne, he goes to the police station to see Dr. Chase. Here's her moan.
Yep.
Grunts. And Mia's like,
the door
down. Like, all right, who the fuck does that?
Yeah.
And immediately has to take her clothes off.
Yeah, it was an interesting scene.
All right, he's horny too. And then they go to the circus for a date, which the Grayson storyline.
Yep.
And I wrote so much storylines. This movie has almost too much going for it.
Yeah, it definitely does.
I like the Robin Easter eggs. And also I wrote only rendition of Robin that we really get.
Yeah.
I don't count Dark Knight Rises as really a Robin.
No, I don't either.
That's more of a Easter egg. Batman steals girl from Bruce because she's just like eh. The origin story for Dick, the 2 origin story for Dick. I don't know. I wrote 2. We get an origin story for Dick Grayson, which is his classic origin story. But now Two-Face is the one he wants to kill, not Matches Malone. Not I forget who in the comics who kills his parents.
Generic bad guy, yeah.
Generic bad guy. And I think like I forget how much detail I put in my Batman. I had Two-Face killing, or like Two-Face goon killing Nightwing in my own like writing of my what I would do for a Batman series. So I'm like, it works. I think Two-Face works as a natural person who kills Nightwing. There's enough like I think it's a good choice. Circus is sad, which is interesting because Circus was like the people who was attacking Batman now, but now the Circus is the good guys.
Yeah, it is weird, yeah.
Robin looks so old.
Yeah,
sure
I know.
30-ish
I know film. That was tough. Like especially when he comes over, and then the Gordon brings him over to Bruce's mansion, and he's like, "Oh, he's gonna stay with you." Da da da. I was so confused. Why?
I'm like,
why is he bringing this old guy to stay with Bruce? And then they're like, "Oh, because he's a minor." Apparently,
right. Bruce just adopts a kid. Quotation marks.
Yeah, they couldn't.
And then Dick's like, "Fuck you guys! I'm gonna kill Two-Face." And I'm like, what? Yeah. And he's a bike guy.
Yeah,
which I'm like, cool.
Literally,
I guess.
like
more like Jason Todd.
Yeah, I would say, yeah. There's like no way he wasn't at least 23.
And this movie gets so serious now, and I wrote, serious parts are so slow, and like they go through the flashbacks again. It's like, man, like this is just, we don't care. I don't think anyone cares. This is just, I think this is where this film gets really bad. Is when he tries to be serious, on top of the fact that it's so outlandish. Yeah,
I would. It's definitely jarring.
Batmobile. There was a part in the Batmobile, instead of like the little thing that lifts it up, it's a side step, like it's like the Arkham Knight video game.
Oh yeah, where the wheels turned. Yeah,
It's like the rocket and stuff.
That is
going after Two-Face.
Much cooler.
That's dope.
Yeah, that's much
cool.
Cooler. And more realistic.
And then the car climbs the thing. I'm like, when people don't take superhero films seriously, this is the film they're thinking of.
Yep.
Like this is the film why people don't take superhero films seriously, because this is so fucking silly.
I did write that. We're on Batman Forever, right? That this one has the best bat gadgets.
Yeah,
like the best looking and the best like working, including like the Batmobile and stuff like that.
I agree. I feel like Joel Schumacher is very much more in the let's sell toys, and he does a pretty good job of that aspect of it.
Yeah, everything was really cool and interesting, and
Riddler's building his villain character. He's building it like it's D&D.
Yeah.
He's just like, how do I want to design Mr. Puzzler?
Yeah.
Or the puzzler, this, and like his little machine's just like question, question.
No, and then it goes, the questions. And he's like, aha,
I will be the Riddler.
Of course.
I will say his costume looks fucking tight.
Yeah, I liked all of his outfits.
All right, so Two-Face, they show his base. And his base is fucking gorgeous. He has two girls who are all over him.
Yep.
He literally like has like a base of like one's light, one's dark. He has like two of everything. And my first question, like why is he doing crime?
Yeah, right. What does he need to gain?
He's doing so well right now. He could stop for a while. Also, like, Two-Face flips a coin. When he's in his like pad just chilling, like, does he just like flip a coin to like which couch he sits on, which girl he has sex with? Like,
every single thing, yeah.
Just like, which couch you want to sit on? Light, okay. Which show do I want to watch? Dark. Which girl? Oh, hey, conveniently flipped up. All right, both of you.
Yeah, right.
Like, I'm like, you're good.
I will also say that the logic with his coin doesn't really hold up in this movie, because I remember at one point during one of the missions with the Riddler,
he just makes a decision.
Yeah, well, no, he's like, Riddler tells him not to kill anybody, and he's like, okay. But then he just flips his coin over and over again until it lands on what he wants. And then he's like, oh, yes. And then he goes and kills the guy. Like, it kind of defeats the purpose, doesn't it?
Like, why go through the hassle? Why
yeah.
don't you just do the fuck what you want?
Yeah, you're not really going by the coin then. You're making a choice.
Yeah, I feel like that's just part of the writing where, like, it just breaks everything.
Yeah, I didn't like that part.
Oh, all right. Riddler looks...
Got to commit to the book.
Looks tight, and he says so conservative, and I'm like, man... You're so conservative. Like, he's such a disgusted look, and he does it Tommy Lee Jones, and I don't know if you know the beef between the two. Like, hearing...
They didn't like each other.
No, and I'm like, man... And, like, I'm pretty sure Tommy Lee Jones is probably, like, a super conservative Republican. I wouldn't be surprised if he is.
I could see
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because he is an actor, but he's an older actor. But just, like, Jim Carrey delivering that line, I'm like, oh, I know what he means here. I know what he's trying to intend. It's a really cool blue jay out the window.
Oh, yeah.
It's gorgeous.
Gorgeous blue jay.
Oh, no. My mouse died.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. TV kills you. I wrote that down.
Yep.
Okay, can we talk about Robin doing laundry?
Yeah, I did write that down. Yep.
Like karate laundry, and Alfred just looking on like he could fight karate.
Yeah, I wrote down super cringe scene of Robin drying his laundry. That is what I wrote down. That was rough to watch.
So bad.
Yeah. Just whipping it around
for so unnecessarily.
Like, it's just it's not even efficient.
Yeah, no.
Like, if Batman just like slapped him right there, I'd be like, thank you.
Yeah, right.
Like,
what are you doing?
No one looks cool doing laundry. Slapped.
Right.
Like, just do it normally, goddammit. Doctor loves Batman. I wrote that. Dick joyrides in Batmobile, which should really just give it away who Batman is.
Yeah.
Like,
does he not?
The ward of Bruce Wayne is driving around a Batmobile. Oh.
Right.
Oh, that clicks. That
I did like the scene where he chases down all those goons and fights all the people, saves the girl, and she's like, "Oh, doesn't the superhero ever get a kiss?" Kisses her. It's like, "Oh, I could get used to this superhero thing."
To be fair, like Bruce Wayne is that superhero. Yeah. He's just being more, open about it.
Oh yeah.
At least in this version of it. Dick blames hold on, actually I'm getting ahead. Ray fight with Dick, which I think looked great, especially when you're in a green state. Batman comes in, Dick gets mad at Batman, and it felt flat. I felt like all the serious scenes between the characters just felt flat.
Yeah,
like I want to kill him, especially who's the actor who does Dick Grayson?
Chris O'Donnell,
yes. I feel like any scene where like he has to deflect emotion, he just wasn't there. Like he just didn't have it.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And it was a really poor choice. I wish Marlon Wayans would have been better.
Would have been interesting. I don't know. I can't guarantee he would have made the movie.
Well,
any
Chris
better.
O'Donnell wasn't great.
Yeah, no, he wasn't. But he's definitely far from the main flaws of the movie.
I wrote "We're the same, you and I," because it was said again for like a second straight movie. We're the same. Night Out, Ed versus Bruce. Bruce is still awkward. Jim Carrey is just freaking great.
Yep.
Val Kilmer, Bruce. And dance partners get switched. Bruce gets caught in a trap.
Yep.
Is conveniently like, how does Bruce not like realize? How does
He's
it work?
Trusting, yeah.
It was like
a little bit too trusting.
Seems to Dr. Chase wants some bad dick. Yep. Oh wait, I went down. There was a fight. Two-Face interrupts because Riddler's doing his plan. Chase wants bad dick. He gets trapped by Two-Face really quickly. And it was really weird because he just like randomly falls down the chute and he's like, aha, I got you. I'm like, man, how much time did you plan for this? And how did you know he's going to fall right there? Like, it just like, it's a movie you just don't think about. Don't think about it.
Classic.
More Val Kilmer dick. I kept writing, like, I just didn't really care for his Bruce. It just didn't feel like he was confident in his Bruce, especially when it's like Bruce and Dick. It felt flat, but as soon as he's Batman, he had the confidence.
Yeah, I guess I think about it kind of like a Clark Kent Superman kind of thing.
Right, but like Dark Knight Trilogy definitely does a lot better job at like showing the mask of Bruce Wayne and like showing the difference between Batman or Bruce Wayne when he is just in Batman mode and like Bruce Wayne when he's like in mask mode. Whereas like this film, I feel like it's every time the mask was off, Val Kilmer's Bruce was just soft and quiet for the most part. Like when he's about to transform, then he's all serious. But it just feels like those moments when it's like Dick and Bruce, it should have been Batman Bruce or Batman Dick.
Yeah.
I just realized Bat Dick has a different thing. I didn't make that connection.
Okay. I was wondering what you meant by that.
Bat gets blocked by Bruce. Bat smile.
Yep.
That smile at the end is like, aha, I win. It's like, dude, you're fighting against yourself.
Yeah, right. You win either way.
Two-Face and Riddler is just so cringe together.
Oh, you wrote cringe. Cringe is funny because I wrote down name a more iconic duo than Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey. The way that they eat off each other, and obviously, like, especially because I know
each other.
Yeah, especially because you know that they didn't like each other. Yet, like, they were like so, like Jim Carrey all over
like
Tommy Lee Jones and stuff. I don't know. I enjoy every scene where they were in it together. I thought were like the best scenes in the movie.
What if those two were like? Two-Face wasn't written that way, but he just fucking hated Jim Carrey so much that he wanted to like out Jim Carrey, and that's what was happening the entire time.
And I almost feel like that
they just kept on stepping on their toes,
and that's what made it so much fun to watch the two of them because they're both such good actors. I liked it.
I thought Tommy Lee Jones went way too ham into it.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
I liked his serious aspects, but I didn't like that.
I enjoyed watching them ham it up. I thought that was the best parts in the movie, in my opinion.
All right. The don't kill storyline. I was like so tired, especially with the lore. I'm like,
yeah, he says that, but then I know, and I wrote that, and then he doesn't save Two-Face at the end.
Yeah,
he lets Two-Face die anyways. So it was just like, it was all for naught.
Yeah, and like also it was during Halloween. I'm like, Halloween film?
Yeah.
Is this a whole? I mean, might as well be. It kind of reminds me of Halloween Part 3.
Yeah,
just like the TV aspect, mind control. Roses are a bat trigger.
Yeah, barely.
I think like pearls or diamonds are definitely a bad trigger.
Roses.
I think pearls is, but I'm like roses bad trigger. Also, I'm so sick of the origin rehash. Dunes dick block the bat. That happens a lot in these films. They're about to get laid. Goons. Oh, yeah, because they're going into the Bat Cave.
Oh, yeah, it's when they blow it all up.
Yep. Chase smile when she finds out that he's Batman. Riddler is in Bat Cave destroying in a silly matter, joygasm.
Yeah, I almost wrote that down. Joygasm.
Not killing Batman was just lazy writing.
Yeah.
Like, no, he needs to learn his lessons. Like, no, you guys want to kill him.
Yeah, the whole point was to kill him. Yeah.
Just fucking kill. Like, he's there.
I hate that. Yeah,
it's
I don't
lazy
like
writing.
that stuff. Yeah.
This movie, rating wise, is lazy.
Yeah. The whole just having it. Yeah, not doing it for no reason.
Team up. Now they're gonna team up because he has to. There was no other really like. He just changes his mind, which I thought, again, lazy. Team up time. Batship is the Batship. It's just silly. Evil Base is just freaking like it's one of those giant little TV antennas. We didn't even talk about the TV thing.
Yeah, not a whole
lot. It's so silly. He's like, here, see what I mean? And like he gets the knowledge, and they're all like, oh, I'm so much better. I want more. It's like, is that pleasant?
Yeah, it's almost like a drug.
Yeah, it almost seemed like it was a drug. I'm like, what are you gaining? I wrote Robin gets hit already. I'm like, all right, Bruce was right.
Yep.
Like he's already getting trapped.
Yeah.
Brainwaves also have lasers.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's weird. The all black suit I thought was okay. I'm like, it's cool, but the black and yellow is just amazing.
Yeah, iconic.
Also, Riddler divers.
Yeah.
He just says like. One is like, just imagine like you're a diver by profession, and you just been, man, I really need a job. No one wants divers, and you see an ad like divers needed, like must wear silly costume.
Yeah. Fight Batman and Robin underwater.
Like who like thinks of that? Like, all right, we need divers in case.
Yeah.
And also, how do you fight underwater?
You don't.
I thought it was just so. And then this line. Holy rusted metal, Batman.
I wrote that down too. Yep.
He's like, what? The ground's holy.
Yeah.
It's rust.
It's rusted. It's got holes in it.
I'm like, okay, I like this
line.
Yeah,
that was.
I feel like it could have been delivered better, but I'm like, no, this line's
good. It was good. I'm glad it was in there.
Feels very 60s in this moment.
Yeah.
Bat elevator when he's in the elevator, I'm like, that's so hard to see. This is awful. Falling ledge. Oh, Two-Face falls off the ledge. He's like, help me, and then he like goes from killing him to want to save him.
Yep.
I'm like, that's cliche.
Yep.
I remember as a kid, like pretending like you're on a ship at a playground, and then like go down the sign like I'm falling, and then like you constantly switch positions. Like I feel like that's what this movie was.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wrote that as I didn't even write it. I just acted that as a 6-year-old kid.
Right.
And this movie is like written by adults. White Riddler suit is peak.
Yep.
Like the bedazzle, meh, but like the white and green, I'm like, oh, that's.
I like all of his suits. I love Jim Carrey. I love
Jim Carrey too. I don't know if I like his Riddler.
Yeah, I love it in a vacuum. Like most of these.
Yeah,
that's how I'd say for most of it. I love it in a vacuum. I love Danny DeVito's Penguin in a vacuum. I don't want that Penguin like to be the only Penguin, but I do love it for what it is.
And then I wrote no Two-Face upgrade? ? He doesn't get a suit upgrade?
Yeah, no, he just wears the same thing the whole time.
I was like, man, he's the upgrade that I want, like white and black. Because that'd be just dope.
Like
Tommy Lee Jones would pull it off.
Yeah, like an iconic Two-Face suit.
Yeah, and like and even the face, if you painted it black.
Yeah.
I'm like, that'd be dope.
Or even like the animated series, like blue. I don't know why they went with red.
Was it red or purple?
Reddish purple, I guess, both.
It just looked so weird. I don't know.
The blue... I guess it's tough, I guess, like even thinking about the animated series Two-Face, like how do you put that in live action without it looking either really like horrifying or really goofy, like finding that fine line in between there. Because like the Dark Knight trilogy, Two-Face obviously went for a lot more of like the horrifying look.
The horrifying realism.
Yeah.
And this was like, goofy.
Yeah.
Riddler wants to be a god. I'm like, that escalated quickly. He went from like just wanting to be known and getting Bruce Wayne like approval. Now he's like, I'm gonna be a god. I'm like, all right. Fine.
I feel like that tracks with the narcissism and the
that's fair.
And the power and stuff like that.
That does track, I will say. Classic choice conundrum that the Riddler pulls. Do you want love or your partner? And I'm like, God damn it, Dick, just stay home.
Right.
This would have been a choice. It would have just been save her or don't save her.
Right. Wouldn't have had that issue.
And he's just like, neither. Or he does the riddle.
Yeah. What's dark and it blows up all the lights and the power.
And it like boom, saves the day in like one battering. I'm like, what the fuck
No,
are
they
you?
they both fall anyways, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what the fuck were you waiting for this entire time? Like you just waited to say a riddle to him and then throw it? You could have just saved the day immediately.
Yeah, no, it's not as fun.
I mean, it wouldn't make a movie.
Yeah.
But I'm like, man, I'm just like lazy writing. How about the fact that how he kills Harvey Dent with the coins?
Yeah.
It's like, come on, let me flip.
Yeah, throws a handful up there.
He takes coins out of his pet compartment, throws it, and he dies. And I'm like,
yeah, and he lets him die. That was the worst part in the whole movie. After all of that and everything, and him talking to, and then he like looks at Dick, and he's like, and he's just like, yeah, well, it looks like you died anyways.
Philosophy talk from a crazy litter. Batman talks philosophical differences to Riddler, who's like just fucking crazy at this point. I'm like, oh man, that's very heroic. Riddler is Batman. I'm like, yay.
Yeah.
It's all, it works. Ending I thought was mid because he's just like, da-da-da, and then.
Yeah, credits.
Yeah. All right, who's the better villain? Riddler or Tommy Lee or Two-Face?
I mean, I gotta give it to the Riddler.
It's Riddler.
Yeah, hands down.
I mean, Jim Carrey was just peak. He was having a blast.
If it wasn't him in this movie would have been unwatchable.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost already unwatchable.
Yeah. It's the shining light in the darkness.
Is this film any good?
It's not as bad as the next one.
We'll get into that talk. Is Robin good? Is Robin worthy? I thought he wasn't that great.
No.
I thought like everything about Robin was just a bad decision.
Yeah, it was very rushed.
The
I don't know. I think part of the problem is doing Robin in a movie in general. I think is tough. Like, how do you build up that explanation? Like, especially when you go from like explaining that Bruce has trained his whole life basically to do this, to all of a sudden taking someone who's young who doesn't have like years and years of training.
There's the way to
and
do
get it into the point where it makes sense.
There's a way to do it, but how do you do it?
The only one that really makes sense is Damien, because he already would have all this training.
I feel like what makes sense here, it would make sense in other films. I think other films could do it. This film tried to do it with like how many other villains, how many other origin stories. They tramped way too much into this to try to even make it work. Plus, just Chris O'Donnell's just a horrible choice. Doesn't look young. Yeah. Like if it was like a teenager who looked like a teenager, then it's like a believable of like, hey, I want to train you, and then like have time pass. I think you could do Robin. I think Robin would be a really great like asset in the film. Like if the Batman 2 had Robin in it, I think it could do a great job. I don't think it's going to.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think Brave and the Bold.
Yeah, the best way to do Robin, I think, is to skip the origin story entirely.
Yeah, and just explain it in like moments.
Yeah, don't try to skip past that. Already have Robin be like trained in it for a year.
I mean, origin stories is boring anyway.
They're so boring. We've been through so many of them. There's not a whole lot of interesting stuff that happens in them anymore. All
right, and we're Val Kilmer, decent Batman. We already talked about it. All right, let's talk rating.
Maybe a high 2+.
You give it 2+. I give it 2-.
Really? I don't know if I can go that.
It's meh. It's almost trash to me. I couldn't enjoy it as much as I wanted to enjoy it. Like Jim Carrey was like the enjoyable part of it, and like the parts where it just got so boring, I like wanted to check out. I was happy when this movie was over.
I may have the benefit of watching it at 2 times speed. That made it so like some of those parts did not drag on for as long as maybe they did.
Twice as long.
Yeah, but I didn't think it was that bad.
I thought Val Kilmer did a good job. I thought like his Batman deserves a good rating.
I think there was a lot of good individual parts. They just were not put together well, there was some poor decisions made. But I think like there are bones in this movie that are still like good.
I agree. That's why it's a 2-, not a 1. It's not. I don't think it's trash. I think some people will find enjoyment of it. I think this is a 2- for me. It's watchable. But if, like you said, it's a Jim Carrey away from this movie being utterly unwatchable.
Yeah, but it does have Jim Carrey in it, it does have Tommy Lee Jones in it.
Yeah, I don't know if this version was great.
No, but it's enjoyable.
Good.
It's enjoyable to watch.
In aspects of it.
Yeah, I guess I'm thinking about it in a vacuum.
In a vacuum.
You know, not including other Batman media into it. Like if this was like your only Batman experience, and you've never had any other idea of Two-Face or the Riddler, I think all of a sudden your expectations go down a lot, and then your rating goes up a little bit.
Yeah, it's still, I don't know. I give it 2-. It's a 2. Regardless,
we'll split the difference. They call it a 2.
All right. Batman and Robin. This is the one I was excited for, and I'm actually mad that I watched it with kids.
This is the one I was the least excited for.
I was excited for it because I know how fun this movie is when you just get shit-faced.
Yeah.
And which is why I was upset not to watch it. And I watched it with my stepson, who was very glued to it. And this is very much a kid's show.
Yeah. This is like a glorified toy commercial, right?
They literally say the joke.
Yeah.
I forget exactly the line, but they made a line they would make excellent toys. Or
yeah.
they just spell out exactly what they were doing. This movie, if you watch this movie, again, in a vacuum, if you watch this movie for what it is, this movie's enjoyable. If you don't think about it, you don't care about what you want. If you just watch it to enjoy pure insanity, it's fun.
Yeah. I mean, in the same way that most of these are, except for 89, I think.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, Forever, I feel just didn't have it tried to do too many things. Where this film had all the villains in it, but I feel it didn't. It had a little bit less where the silliness could go, but it did get old too. And there was parts where once it did get serious, I'm like, this is the worst part of the film. I don't care about Alfred dying. I just don't. It's not great. It doesn't match the tone of anything else. I don't care why Barbara's here. Just get her here, right?
Yeah, I did think it was weird that they made Barbara Alfred's niece.
It tracks, though.
Yeah, I mean, it does, but it was just kind of why?
I don't remember her really having a British accent, though.
She doesn't.
That makes no sense.
Yeah.
Isn't she from England?
Yeah.
This movie's less than I thought it was.
The first thing I wrote was just
I think the first 5 minutes of this movie are just one-liners back and forth.
It's so great.
It is not. It is hard to watch.
I think.
Is it hard to watch? Were you in the right mind?
Yeah. I was in as good a mind as I could be. I also wrote down bat nipples again because this is a definite.
Even Mr. Freeze had nipples.
Yeah, even Batgirl had nipples on her batsuit.
Well, yeah, man.
Yeah, I know. I didn't remember that part. I was surprised by that.
So the close-up scene, because they did it in Forever, and I'm like, I mentioned it, but this scene they did it again, but they were very much here's Batcock, here's Bat butt, here's Dick cock,
and they do the same, and they do the same thing with Batgirl when she puts on her suit for the first time.
And but it's all serious.
Yeah,
with serious music, this doesn't fit.
No,
put the '60s Batman with this works perfectly.
Yep.
But it doesn't fit. And then all the ice puns.
Yep.
With Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, I wrote it's basically a live action cartoon.
What happened to all the dinosaurs? Ice Age. Yeah. It's so bad.
Everything he says is an ice pun.
I know, and that's why I just love it.
Yeah.
I just I think I watched this movie so much as a kid.
See, I think I have the opposite with Forever. Yeah,
I watched this movie so much as a kid where I just watch it, and my ratings are going to be very similar anyway. I just enjoy this movie for the fact that I know what I'm getting with it. I know that I'm just going to get stupid one-liners and silly villains doing stupid shit, and Batman saying corny lines over. I just know that's what's happening, and so if I can get myself in the right mood, and I wasn't when I watched it this time, but if I can get myself in the right mood and watch this film, it is fun. Like, you take some friends, you all just get drunk or you all like get high and just watch this movie. It's great because it's just fun. Yeah. It's a fun film. It's not a good film, but it's this movie's so bad it's good.
Yeah,
like, that's the terror.
This one definitely is crossing into that line. It's honestly kind of cringy to watch at a lot of points.
It's arguably the less horniest of films with like the most horniest like
plot
inducing.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
Yeah.
Also, I didn't really care for that either.
Yeah. I also wrote down, because of all the one-liners and stuff, I wondered if this movie is the one that inspired the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Because every time anyone walks in anywhere, it was just right on cue. So much.
I wish I wrote some of these down. Can you like Google the one-liners from this film? So, Mr. Freeze is trying to steal diamonds to power his ice machine,
so he can continue research to save his wife.
And they I know they like talked about that line, but it didn't really like initially. I forgot kind of the plot. I'm like, I thought they did this traditional animated series origin for him, but he came across as such a like cartoonish villain. I'm like, did they do the Nora storyline? I thought they did, because they didn't show her right away. He just seemed like he was a villain to be a villain. But yeah, the first like whole freeze thing, and then all of his goons, and again, that was like the first time I questioned.
Yeah,
like where he starts committing crimes. He like has this accident, commits crimes. Where does he get goons?
People that are willing to like freeze to death for him. He must be paying them good money.
Like,
that's the only.
Are they a bunch of hockey players?
Yeah, right. Yeah,
and they're all like skating around, and also like they get together and they're just like, all right, let's get the bat skates out. I'm like, when would you ever need bat skates?
Yeah, right.
And then they're all just like playing hockey.
Yep.
Like, I don't.
It's insanity.
It's so stupid. It's dumb. And then they go up in the sky, and then like Batman's like, "What are you doing here, Robin? Like, get out of here." And I don't mind George Clooney Batman. I don't feel like he gets a chance. I don't really care for his Bruce, because his Bruce just feels flat most of the time. I don't mind his Batman. I don't hate it. I don't feel like he has much to work with. I also don't think he delivers much. He's there. He looks the part.
Yeah, he looks the part.
You mentioned this before, but them surfing down off like the ship, I thought was like, this makes no sense. They don't care about physics at all. They're literally like flipping with the thing. I'm like, man, they don't have, it's not a snowboard. They don't have straps.
Right.
That's not how physics works. And then he takes the ice gun and is like,
yeah, and just stops himself. Yeah. The over-the-topness from this movie just right off the bat. Like, they saw what happened in the last one. Right off the bat. Right off the bat. Yeah. Allow me to break the ice. My name is Freeze. Learn it well, for it's the chilling sound of your doom.
So, I also like when like they're in their headquarters and they're all like freezing to death, and he's like watching. He's just like, if you're going to be a villain, man, just commit. Like he commit. He's like, you know what? I'm cold. I do freezing technology. You know what? I just fucking love ice.
Yeah.
I love everything cold.
Yeah. Watching the freaking Christmas cartoon or whatever,
and they're all like trying to eat the frozen dinners. That's just like, man, who the fuck signs up to be in this crew?
Yeah, like his one henchman that's always coming over to him is just like frozen. His face is covered in ice, and he's just shivering.
I'm like, do you get paid? Do you get a pension? Do you get a retirement plan?
Right. Like, what kind of insurance? What kind of benefits are you getting to get?
Like, why do you want to do this job? You're cold all the time. You don't get fed. You have to eat icicles.
Please show me some mercy. Mercy, I'm afraid my condition has left me cold to your pleas of mercy. Every line he says is a one-liner.
All right, should we talk about Dr. Pamela Isley?
Oh, yes.
She's very much like Catwoman. Both these villains are very much basically Batman Returns.
Yeah.
This is like the Batman Returns, and they literally have the same plot line, right?
Yeah, way over the top.
way over the top, but like Penguin is Freeze because Penguin's making like I'm cold blooded. He's making ice jokes. Freeze is making ice jokes. Timid white girl turns into empowered woman villain. Ivy. Like it just feels like it's a copy and paste of like the worst degree that doesn't like actually think about.
They do have Bane though. What a waste.
This Bane is like the Bane of villains.
Yeah,
but I will say John Glover. I believe that's the actor who plays the Doctor, right?
Yeah.
John Glover from Smallville.
Yeah.
I love his character.
Yep,
Just that crazy scientist.
Yeah,
if anyone ever wants to hire me for an acting role, can I just be a crazed villain?
Yeah.
And just give me 2 minutes of screen time. That's all.
It seems like the most fun.
It would just be a fucking blast. He was having fun, and Ivy is against it. He makes Bane. Bane is just awful.
Yeah. Take one of like the smarter people in
Bane
Batman's villains, and turn him into
just a monster.
Yeah, just a thug, just a goon,
just
a strong goon. Doesn't even break Batman's back.
How dare you, Bane?
Yeah.
Just the fact, I don't know. Bane is just so smart, and when you don't portray him as a smart man, it's just sad.
You're doing a disservice to him.
He's not a henchman. He is the villain.
He's the boss. Yeah,
he is the guy.
Yeah,
he's the guy who can kick your ass, but he's the guy who can outsmart you.
And that's what makes him so scary.
And I think, Bane in the series is very much like everyone knows that this Bane is just a disappointment. He's just a toy. And not even a cool looking toy, because I remember having Bane as a toy, and I didn't really care for Bane.
No.
Who would? Who would care about just a thug who gets pumped full of drugs?
He just walks around saying, bomb.
The idea of like Poison Ivy and like Dr. Freeze, and this is the one I didn't write notes for, so I'm not going in order.
You mean Mr. Freeze?
Mr. Freeze.
You said Dr. Freeze.
I mean, he's a doctor, isn't he?
I don't know, is he?
He's a scientist.
Doesn't mean you're a doctor.
I feel like he should have had his doctorate. Mr. Freeze should be a doctor.
Dr. Freeze, all right.
I mean, like, I'm not saying he should be Dr. Freeze, but I'm saying, like, he should probably have a doctorate degree, right?
You would think.
You would think. The idea of Ivy, like, I like Ivy as a villain, because Ivy's, like, not really a villain. She's more of an anti-hero. But the idea of, like,
she's kind of like a third party, like, with the ulterior motives.
Yeah. But her teaming up with Freeze is, like, the most, like, nonsensical idea possible.
Yeah. They're literally, like, at different odds ideologically.
Yeah, like, I want to freeze the world. I want to kill humans. Like, you do that, but, like, he kills plants.
Yeah.
And, like, it just makes no sense for them to team up. But I do like Ivy in this role as, like, her with, like, the dust.
Yeah.
And, like, controlling people. I like it. I just didn't really care for the storyline between Dick and her, or Dick and Batman fighting over her.
Yeah.
It just felt contrived and just, like...
It was frustrating to watch.
Yeah.
It's like one of those things where you just, like, want to reach through your screen and just smack them and say, just stop.
Just don't do this.
Yeah, don't do it.
It's not great. And, like, Batman's been horny this entire time. And it's like...
This is like the most level-headed Batman.
Yeah. And he's just like, no, they're kind of control. Like, dude, where's this level-headed Batman been? Mm-hmm. Like, if he didn't think with his dick for, like, 3 films, he would be a lot better off.
Right.
And this is when he's supposed to think with his dick. He's literally having...
Right, being controlled, yeah. It seemed, yeah. I would also like to point out, I thought it was interesting that after Poison Ivy gets her powers... she immediately like goes on a speech about how she wants to save all plants in the world, and then right after that burns down her lab that's filled with all her plants.
I remember.
Those are the kind of things that I noticed.
So bad.
Yeah, it's just like, what?
Like, say one thing, do another thing.
Yeah,
I care about plants. Kill plants.
Yeah, do the exact opposite. It was just like with the Two-Face thing. The don't kill him, and then kills him.
Yeah. And then Barbara comes in, and I feel like they just wanted a Batgirl toy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So rushed. The fact that Alfred is just like has a
Dying too.
yeah, and then has like a program like, oh, I knew you'd make your way down here already, and I took the liberty of making you a bat suit.
Alfred just wants everyone to be part of.
Yeah, he does.
It's like, you need a family, Bruce, which actually like that tracks. I feel like that is very Alfred to like push for other heroes.
But like he doesn't even know that she's just a college girl from England.
He does.
She doesn't have any training.
He's like, she's blood. She's definitely racing cars.
Yeah.
Also, like the dick, like I didn't mind like him figuring it out.
Yeah.
But it was, I don't know.
It saves her life at the end.
Saves her life. I'm like, oh, it's Dick Grayson.
Yeah. That felt true to the character.
Yeah.
Actually giving him an opportunity to do something on his own.
A little bit. Or like when he answers the door, are you here for me?
Yeah.
It's like, man, Dick is also horny. But that tracks.
He's young.
He's 20.
Yeah.
You're like, you know what, I'm okay with this. I think, yeah, him and Batgirl have like a history too. So I'm like, I'm okay with it. Batman and Batgirl also have a history.
Yeah, I don't like that history.
I don't either. Goddamn
It's
Killing Joke.
yeah.
I'm like, ugh. Like, I hate it so bad. Did I tell you? I feel like I might have mentioned in the pod.
I don't know. I know we talked about it before.
My ex-wife dressed up as Batgirl and like surprised me at home. He's like, come here, Batman. This is basically Dr. Chase's fantasies.
Yeah.
He's like, come here, Batman. And I'm just like, nah, you gotta take it off. Like, I can't. Now, if you're Catwoman, yes.
Yeah, right.
Downright smashing it immediately.
Yeah.
Batgirl, I'm like, nah, I'm keep thinking about the fact that there was like at least a decade apart here. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't think about taking advantage of a small, like, young girl. Like, I just can't do it. It's like, even if like, I'm 30 now. Like, the idea of like getting with someone who's like 18 just disgusts me.
Yeah.
Even if it's legal, it disgusts me. So the idea of Batman and Batgirl together, I'm like, no.
Yeah.
But Batman or Robin, Batgirl, they're the same age. They're on the same age. That one makes sense. That one tracks. And then last time I read the comics, those two were a thing.
Yeah.
All right, where do we go from here? Where are we at?
Poison Ivy.
Mr. Freeze. Poison Ivy's jealous, kills Nora.
Yeah.
Blames it on Batman. He doesn't really react. He's like, no. Like,
Yeah.
It's like man, your whole villain aesthetic is for her. Like, I feel like you should be in tears trying to kill everything. And he tries to destroy everything, blames Batman.
Yeah, but I mean, it does also kind of track with all of his puns that he's been saying about how, like, his condition has left him unfeeling and cold. Like, so it would make sense that he wouldn't really have the kind of reaction.
That's
and
fair.
any reaction he does have just goes to show how much of a reaction he would
That's
have.
fair. That's fair. I really want a cool Mr. Freeze, like in a live action. Batman number 2, or the Batman number 2, I think would. That's the villain I'm hoping for. I don't know if it makes sense, but I'm like, that's the one I'm hoping for. All right. Bane. Those two go back and forth for who's going to get Ivy. I know there's a whole gorilla scene where they're like, sexy gorilla. It's like, she has abs. Okay.
Yep,
and then it reveals. And then there's like the final with like the telescope conservatory. And this is where I started like falling off a little bit.
Yeah,
Also, my kid was crying in the middle of this whole movie, so it's hard for me to like pay attention. But I remember for the most part, this finale didn't look
disappointing.
great.
Well, first off, I'd like to say that Poison Ivy gets defeated by her own plant chair.
Oh yeah,
That doesn't make any sense.
no.
That is super dumb.
This
She's
movie-
literally like hanging out in it, and then she gets knocked onto it, and then it eats her.
It ate her mom.
Yeah,
She controls pants.
yeah.
I think I might have missed that scene in the run-through.
That I really didn't like. The actual like conservatory scene, I guess I was curious. Like, he actually freezes a bunch of the city.
Yep.
And then you're like, how do they undo it? And then they use the satellites, of course, to redirect the sun to this part of the planet.
Yep.
I would like to say that using like a freeze ray like that to freeze an entire city, and then the planet was his plan. Like, how would that even work?
with the sun.
Yeah.
You'd have to like create global warming.
Yeah, and the whole
like
they really commit hard to you have 11 minutes to thaw out when you get frozen solid. I don't know what truth there is to that.
Why I set that limit for a movie. I remember that aspect of it.
They're very strict on that. You have 11 minutes before they die. But I think it was just like a cheap excuse to be able to freeze a bunch of people without saying that he's killing everyone.
It's lazy writing. Yeah. They're just It's kind of like the Schumacher era. A lot of lazy writing with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever gets you from point A to point B.
Let's get some questions here. Best villains. Best villain out of the three.
Well, it wasn't Bane.
No.
I did think Uma Thurman did do a good job. I don't know if it was just my like times 2 speed, but it seemed like she was doing like a 1950s like almost Bostonian accent kind of like the whole time, which I thought was an interesting choice.
She was.
But I mean, Mr. Freeze, I don't know.
I think I mean Freeze here because I just enjoyed Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Not saying he did great by any means. He should not be.
I like
Mr.
how they
Freeze.
just explained away the fact that he's huge by saying that he was a scientist that also did decathlons.
I forgot.
Yeah. That's just their little side note to explain why he's just a brick shithouse.
Did you have fun with this movie?
I had more fun with the last one.
Okay.
But it wasn't terrible.
I just enjoy. I watched it with kids. It was less enjoyable for me, but the last time I watched it before with a friend, just getting totally like it was just fun. It was just it's such a fun movie just to laugh at, and then just the puns.
Yeah, it was almost too much for me.
They went hard into it. Here's the thing.
I can't think of a single movie that is that hard.
This movie would be a lot better off if they intentionally try to be as punny as like they were being punny. But like if this movie was trying to be over the top whimsical, I think this movie would be a fucking blast to have.
Yeah, if it would have committed to it more.
And like this movie tried too hard to be serious at times, and which is like anytime they did serious. The one scene with like George Clooney talking to Dick about how Alfred was dying, and he was like smiling when he was saying it, and I think what he was trying to portray in this scene was that like
that awkward uncomfortableness,
where he was like trying to mask that he's okay, but wasn't okay. But George Clooney just didn't have the acting skills, at least not then, because he just smiled like he was happy Alfred was dying. And it was like so hard to watch.
Yeah.
Chris O'Donnell, anytime he did anything, like acting-wise, was just bad. I don't remember who plays Batgirl. She was fine. Alfred is arguably the best character and the only character that carries over.
Yeah.
He's a pretty good Alfred. I like his Alfred.
Is he the Alfred in 89?
Yeah, I think it's all four. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I love him.
Okay.
Michael Caine's also great, but
rating.
If I gave the other one a 2, I guess probably have to give this one a 2 minus.
I give this one a 2. That's just a flat 2. I thought about a 2+. I'm like, nah, this movie's not.
I think you could really make arguments for the last two to really interchange them about which one's better and which one's worse.
I think you can. They're about the same to me.
For different reasons.
I think I have Forever's a 2- because I'm like, this movie's close to trash. Batman and Robin's trash, but I have so much fun with the film that I'm like, no.
It goes up because it's so bad it goes up, and the other one's so bad it goes down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's just out of fun bad. I don't enjoy that one. This one I enjoy. I enjoy Jim Carrey. I just don't enjoy this one. All right, so let's rank the films, and we'll end this very long podcast. This might be my longest podcast.
Yeah, buddy.
To be fair, I did MCU all the films for a State of Review in one night. It was 4+ hours.
Yeah,
and I just split it up.
I believe that.
All right,
there's a lot of movies.
I might split this one up too.
Yeah,
and just release it in 2 parts.
It's a possibility. You do that.
Part 1A, Part 1B.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see how I decide to do this. All right. Let's rank the films. 1 through 4. We did the ratings. Let's rank them now. Number 4 for you, I'm guessing, is Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
For me, it's Forever, and then it's Batman Robin.
Yeah, then it's me. It's Forever.
I think we're both Batman 89 at 2.
Yep. And then
I agree. And then Batman Returns
is one.
Is the best one. That one's great.
That one is legitimately like enjoyable to watch.
All right. Let's rank the Batmans. And when I say rank the Batmans, I mean the Batman. Like when the actor is in costume.
Okay.
So who is the best Batman?
Either Returns or
we're going actor.
Forever. Yeah.
So we're going Keaton, both of them.
Oh, okay.
Combined.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's definitely either Keaton or Kilmer.
Yeah.
I liked Kilmer.
I
like Keaton a lot. I think overall, but I like Kilmer.
I think Keaton had better to work with. But
yeah,
I think Kilmer, just his voice in the role and his look, is aesthetic. Loved his Batman, like his Batman. Michael Keaton, I probably like overall the best, like both parts, and just he's iconic.
Yep,
his face too fat though. Sorry, Michael Keaton, it just doesn't look great. Kilmer though, best Batman for me.
Yeah.
All right, best rank the Bruces.
I mean, I liked Keaton more than Kilmer, I think.
I have Keaton, Clooney, Kilmer.
You have Clooney ahead of Kilmer?
I did not like Kilmer.
I know
as
you
Bruce.
really didn't.
I didn't like it. It just didn't seem confident, where Clooney had that cheeky charisma with him.
I guess I don't need the confidence in the Bruce Wayne. I mean, I think about the Batman even, and Robert Pattinson's Bruce Wayne. He's not very confident.
No, but his take on it was more like he was just unhinged Bruce. Unhinged, not really, there wasn't a Bruce Wayne mask. And I kind of liked that aspect of it. We showed, he didn't have duality. He's not there yet for his persona. He just has Batman and unhinged Bruce. Which I like that aspect of it. There wasn't much of a Bruce.
Kilmer has his Batman and then a much more reserved Bruce.
Yeah, I didn't like it. It come off as meek. If he would have had a better Batman with dick aspect of it, then yeah. I didn't.
Yeah, I blame Chris O'Donnell for that.
But I know. But I also know people have Kilmer high too as Bruce Wayne, and I understand why. I just didn't care for his confidence. That was the killer for me. He didn't have confidence. He very much seemed like a Clark Kent Superman type of duality, and it seemed like that's what it was going for. More of
that's what I'm saying.
It seemed like a mask, but it wasn't written that way. It seemed like the actor and the writing staff had two different ideas of how to establish Bruce Wayne, and I just didn't like how it didn't mesh for me. I'm not even saying Kilmer did a bad job. I honestly fucking loved his Batman. And it's just, I just didn't care. I didn't put this on here. Best Bond girl.
I liked Michelle Pfeiffer. I liked Catwoman.
She was good. She's almost a villain.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to say Dr. Chase is my favorite.
Yeah, I mean, over Vicky Vale and...
Yeah. Vicky Vale is just kind of there.
And Poison Ivy or Barbara, I guess. What do you think?
I mean, Poison Ivy technically would be, and
but she is actually a villain.
Catwoman's up there. I think she's definitely up there with the back and forth. I feel like they could have focused more on the Catwoman Batman aspect of it. To me, I didn't feel like it was focused. There's two. She was so horny for everybody. It didn't seem like she was focused on Bruce.
Well, I think maybe not Catwoman, but I feel like Selena was.
She was, but I feel like she just had so much going on.
Yeah,
I just didn't read it as she it.
I think the whole movie, the whole point of it was it's a flash in the pan. It was only over a couple of days.
Yeah.
It was a real quick relationship. There wasn't, but it was fast, and it was.
I just love the aspect of Dr. Chase just being so obsessed with the idea of wanting to fuck Batman as a as a concept that I'm you know what, I'm into this. I'm into this back and forth, her loving Bruce but also loving Bruce. That aspect of the story I liked. I I didn't like anything else of it, but like I did like that storyline, and Nicole Kidman just pulled it off well. Michelle Pfeiffer is up there, and I think like if you had to ask me which is a better character, Catwoman, better Bond girl, Batgirl, or love interest, I think it's Dr. Chase.
Okay.
Or maybe I was just turned on by Nicole Kidman the entire time. I don't know.
Very hot in that movie. I won't deny that.
All right, last one. Villains.
Best villain?
Yeah, rank the villains. There's 9 of them.
Okay, well, I'm going to start from the bottom.
Okay, or should I give you the list and you don't? I have a list. How about I go with the list and you tell me what you would change?
Okay.
Number 9, Bane.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Number 8, Two-Face.
Yeah, I could see that just because, well, yeah.
Let me see the rest of this. Yeah. Ivy, number 7.
Yeah.
Then I have Freeze.
Yeah, it's tracking so far.
Number 5 for me is Riddler.
Okay.
Number 4 for me is Max Shrek. Or Shrek.
I might swap him and the Riddler around.
That's fair. I just really like Christopher Walken.
I did also.
I thought his villain just served really well.
I think he fit very well too. Fit the story.
Whereas
very
Riddler
well.
was just like there.
Yeah, but he's Jim Carrey, so.
Number 3, I might switch with number 2. But I think 2 and 3 are kind of interchangeable. And I have number 3 as Penguin.
Interesting.
Number 2 is Catwoman for me.
Okay, and then Joker's number 1.
Joker's number 1.
You know?
And like now after like talking about all of this, I think I feel like I'm putting Joker number 1 as like an icon.
Yeah.
Because I didn't enjoy that movie as much as like the other two. I think I'm gonna still put Joker number 1 because like just comparing the performances, I think Joker's still there. I just really enjoyed Penguin and Catwoman in their roles.
I think I would.
I thought they were just written very like they're written better than Joker.
I think I would probably put Penguin at number 1 and then Joker and then Catwoman. I think that. Even though Joker has...
Wait, say that again?
I would put Penguin at number 1.
Penguin 1.
Joker 2. Then Catwoman. I think Joker has the distinct benefit of being the only villain in his movie, which gives him a lot more time to be fleshed out and played with and stuff like that. But seeing as we had a lot less time with the Penguin and he is still able to... that's why I think he edges him out a little bit.
Or you're just super biased because you're wearing Penguin socks.
Maybe. I have a big Danny DeVito fan. I would love to meet the guy.
I think the Penguin 1 is fair because you might have convinced me for Penguin being 1 because I just generally did enjoy the Penguin storyline. And I think aesthetically, I don't really care for Penguin. He's not great to look at.
Well, yeah, but
when he's
that was the point, though. Yeah, and that was the point was that he was a monster.
I will say those two are better written, as I stated before. So I understand him being 1. I
have a hard time thinking of any complaints with the Penguin, aside from like going with the original saying that he wasn't like a mob boss, that he was what he was. Otherwise, I don't think I can think of anything that I didn't like about him.
I don't think so.
I think they could have fleshed out a few more of the things more, but I don't
know why Catwoman 2... I did put 2 originally. I think I just enjoyed her transformation and story. And I think we just had a lot of time spent... Thinking about it now, I think I would have Penguin ahead because I think he fits the monster storyline a little bit better, and I do think is written better than Joker. But Joker, I think, had a better performance. Like I think Jack Nicholson kind of carried. Yeah, his role.
I think Jack Nicholson's probably a better actor than Danny DeVito, but
I think you're safe saying that.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think that they're both great actors. I think Danny DeVito.
You could be a better actor, but like. Still have a less performance than somebody
else. Oh, for sure.
Because Danny DeVito as Penguin, I think, just fits that role.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely has, the benefit of looking like Penguin.
Did you know that Danny DeVito wrote a Penguin comic?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it came out recently. Or I should say within a year or two. I don't know if I ever bought it. It might be in that stack that I have up there. I actually might have bought it.
We'll have to
look at it afterwards. Anyway, we should wrap this up. So we're at Oh God, we're almost at 3 hours. All right, we're done. I'm probably splitting this in 2 episodes because we talked way too much about Batman.
Yeah.
Maybe that's on me for putting this in the
4 movies and
Yeah, never. Especially when I write as many like notes.
Yeah, I had quite a few notes too. Yeah.
So yeah, I think I'm going to split this into part 1, part 2.
Well, at least the next one is only 3 movies.
That is fair. That is fair. All right, till next time.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Brandon. I almost forgot to send you off. All right, this is Don't Involve Me. This is Jake. This is Brandon. We are out.